The doorbell rang at 8 p.m. on March 1st, 2026, a sharp sound that sliced through the peaceful evening in West Des Moines, Iowa. Andrew Coady, sitting on the old, worn blue fabric sofa, startled and dropped the TV remote. He looked at his wife, Emily, who was sitting beside him, holding a steaming cup of tea, then over at Kira, his eldest daughter, who was scrolling on her phone in the corner of the room. No one spoke, but the atmosphere suddenly grew heavy. A doorbell at this hour, in the midst of the raging US-Iran war, never brought good news. Andrew slowly stood up, legs trembling slightly, and walked to the door. He opened it. Two military officers stood there, faces solemn under the yellowish porch light. The younger one, his voice slightly shaking, said, "Mr. and Mrs. Coady, we are very sorry to have to inform you." The world stopped. Andrew felt as though the sky and earth were collapsing. He collapsed right there on the threshold, clutching his chest as if trying to keep his heart from shattering into pieces. Emily screamed, a heart-wrenching cry that echoed through the small house. Kira jumped to her feet. Her phone clattered to the floor. She ran to the door and stood frozen, tears streaming down her cheeks. "No, not Declan. My little brother. He's only 20 years old. Please tell me it's not true." Declan Coady, the young man with the bright smile behind thick glasses, a third-year student at Drake University majoring in information technology, would never come home again. He had been killed in an Iranian drone attack in Kuwait just hours earlier. From childhood, Declan had been his father, Andrew's little hero. Andrew, a retired construction engineer after more than 30 years working on dusty job sites, used to sit with his son watching football on weekends. Declan would laugh loudly when the Iowa Hawkeyes scored and cheer wildly when they won. "Dad, you're the best coach in the world," he had once said as a 10-year-old boy with messy hair. Andrew remembered clearly teaching his son how to throw a football, how to face defeat, lessons he now wished he could apply to himself. In 2023, at age 17, Declan decided to enlist in the U.S. Army Reserve, not out of a thirst for war or movie hero fantasies, but because he wanted to do something bigger than himself, as he once confided to Kira on a rainy evening. Kira, 5 years older and working as a nurse at the local hospital, had tried to dissuade him. "Little brother, life is already hard enough. Why choose such a dangerous path?" But Declan shook his head, that optimistic smile still on his lips. "Sis, I want to protect the people I love, and I'll be back soon with a hero badge on my chest." He was optimistic, smart, always the emotional anchor for the family, the one who told jokes to chase away Kira's exhaustion after long shifts, or helped Emily fix the computer when it breaks again. When the US-Iran war broke out in late February 2026, sparked by the sudden death of Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei in a US-Israeli airstrike, followed by fierce retaliatory strikes, Declan was urgently deployed to Kuwait. He was assigned to provide logistical support for Operation Epic Fury at Shuaiba Port, a remote place with towering stacks of steel containers like giant walls, scorching desert winds whipping sand into faces, and the constant buzz of drones like threats from death itself. Life there was harsh: canned food, fitful sleep in temporary tents, and a deep homesickness. But Declan never let his family worry. He texted regularly, almost every hour as a comforting habit. "I'm good, Dad. Hot as hell out here, but I'm about to get promoted. I'll be home soon for your grilled burgers. Love you guys so much." Andrew would read the messages aloud to Emily, smiling at the phone screen even as his stomach twisted with worry. Kira always replied instantly, "Little bro, remember to video call. I miss that goofy face of yours. And eat properly. Don't get skinny on me." Declan would laugh on video calls, telling stories about his buddies. "There's this guy from Texas who tells jokes all day. I'm fine, sis. Don't worry." In the early days of deployment, Declan even sent photos. Him standing next to a container, grinning under blinding sun, or a picture of a meager meal captioned, "Not as good as mom's cooking." The Coady family pinned those photos to the wall, a reminder that he was still there, still safe. But March 1st, 2026 changed everything. The Kuwait sky suddenly erupted in fire. Iran retaliated with waves of suicide drones targeting U.S. bases across the Gulf, avenging their losses. Explosions roared, black smoke billowed. Declan, at the command center, managed to send one final message. "Everything's okay, don't worry. I'm in the command center, totally safe. Love you all." Then silence. A terrifying silence that swallowed every hope. Andrew kept checking his phone, heart pounding like a drum. "He's just busy," he told Emily, but his voice trembled. Kira tried video calls over and over. No answer. "I've got a bad feeling, Dad," she whispered, gripping the phone until her knuckles turned white. They waited, the clock ticking slowly, each second like a knife. And then the doorbell rang. The moment they had dreaded for so long, the officers explained. Declan had heroically carried out his duties until the very last moment, helping evacuate teammates before the drone struck. But that did nothing to ease the pain. The days that followed were living hell. The family received Declan's posthumous promotion from specialist to sergeant in a small ceremony at home. Emily held the badge, tears streaming. "My son, he deserved so much more than this." They sat around the dining table, flipping through old photo albums, Declan grinning with his rifle at basic training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, him hugging his sister on high school graduation day with a bouquet of deep red roses, or little Declan running around the backyard with their now aging dog Max. Andrew spoke, voice breaking. "He always said, 'I'll be back, Dad.'" "What now? Who's going to watch the game with me?" Kira whispered, holding her mother. "I wish I had called him one more time. I wish I had told him I loved him more." They were not alone in this grief. Not far away in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, Joey Amer was living the same nightmare. His wife, Sergeant First Class Nicole Amor, 39 years old, the funny, devoted mother of two and dedicated Army nurse, had also been killed in that same drone attack. Nicole had been a light for her teammates, cracking jokes to ease fear during long shifts, always promising her husband, "I'm coming home soon, honey. I'll hug the kids so tight." But she left just days before they were to reunite, leaving Joey alone with two young children, lost in their longing for mom. At Dover Air Force Base in Delaware, flag-draped coffins were brought home in biting cold wind, witnessed by the president and officials. The president saluted, eyes red-rimmed, but for the Coady family, no ceremony could fill the enormous void. They held each other crying through the late nights, whispering final words to Declan. "Son, you made us so proud. But if only peace had come sooner. If only those messages weren't the last ones. If only we had more time." Declan's story, and the stories of thousands of other soldiers on both sides of the conflict, is a brutal reminder of the true cost of war. It doesn't just take lives on the battlefield. It tears apart hearts on the home front, where loved ones wait in vain. Behind every hero's badge is a broken family, a smile that will never return, and memories that ache. Those final messages, no matter how warm, cannot change the harsh truth. The silence has arrived, and it will stay forever, like an unhealing scar on the soul.